This is the old Polk in an equally old fire pack-out bag, and it's filled with boots that I've used over the years. The Alaska caribou mukluk used in the interior. It's shaved so that the inside, this is the fur that's in the inside of the mukluk. They're probably the warmest pair of footwear that I've ever had. I doubt now that you can find them anymore. We would get outside for at least an hour every day. Most of the time we were preparing wood, but there were times that we had a short ski route that we would go around. We had wooden skis and we didn't know what glide was, so we just slog around. And we would always carry a mirror so that you could continually check for frostbite. Now, if you press down on your skin and when you release and it doesn't return to its normal color, if it remains white, then that's time that you're in trouble. Now, frost nip is one thing. It's very painful, but you can get over that. Frostbite, that's something that stays with you. It's just, it's not something you really want to go through. Our thermometers wouldn't go below 40 below, so we had to try and estimate what the temperature was by listening to the radio. Once it got to 50 below, nothing seemed to work all that well. But what we were concerned about was when it would get down to minus 60 below Fahrenheit to 65 below Fahrenheit, diesel wouldn't flow. So the people that were dependent on diesel for heat would have to leave their cabins and go to another cabin that had wood for fuel, for heat. Moosehide mukluks with felt inserts. If it looked as if it was going to warm up, you'd just pack galoshes and put on the bottom. These were often used inside. They were the Alaska slipper because of the fact that the floors were often very cold. It's becoming more and more difficult to find good wool felt inserts. Some of them are, they're not really wool anymore. This is a Canadian pair, but I don't know the brand name. I can't read it, but it's the best that I found. And I got that from Wolfsong in Wisconsin. In the late 60s, sorrels became available in the lower 48. And I've always used those for years and years with the felt liners. Now, they're not made in Canada anymore. And this is what, I purchased these and I insulate and I don't really care that much for them. There's always a moisture problem. They're heavy. I probably only use them if I'm ice fishing. And then they're always a problem to dry them out. And so what I do is I just get newspaper, wrap it up, and pack them in and force them in. Really force it down in. This is an early pair of Neils. I don't care for them because they sound like a wounded rhino when you're walking through the woods. I'm certain that they have improved the quality somewhat. And they do have ones designed for winter. But these I haven't used at all. Pair of chainsaw boots. They're bulky and pretty cold. I think they're made in Sweden, and the felt inserts were very, very thin, so I didn't even bother using them. But I only use these when I have to. The Russian Valenki felt boot goes back to Stalingrad. They are really rugged. Cost $30, but postage was also $30. I haven't quite figured out how to use them. I tried to fold them down, but they don't fold, so I might have to cut the top down a little bit. But they sure are rugged, and they definitely are warm. The Scandinavian felt Labans are a good boot, but they come in at about $200. You can get them at Whitehorse or Anchorage. They pair them up with a pair of Neils that I have yet to see them used, but I've heard good reports. But the price is very, very high. My favorite cold weather boot though is the Steger. They're lightweight. They cost a bit, but they're well worth it. This is the Arctic pair, the canvas, and you really auger down here. You can tighten them up very well, and then use this. In warm conditions, the rubber boot and the bean type boot worked well. The bean doesn't have a liner, so when it warmed up, it was okay.